Hey guys, it's Malcolm here once again, and I wanted to make a quick little video just going over the upcoming content schedule and release for the next league and the ending of the current Harbinger League. Because today we were told about the official date that it's going to be released and the official date that Harbinger is going to be ending, and I wanted to make sure that I just get this information out there so that you don't have to go ahead and ask your favorite Path of Exile Australian streamer that doesn't start with the letter Z and ends in the letter D about when the league ends and when the next one starts over and over again, and just give you that little bit of a courtesy. So a few weeks ago we were told that Harbinger League itself will be ending around about November 28th and the new league will be starting December 1st. Now the new league is supposed to coincide with a expansion, so another sort of expansion on the scale of Ascendancy and Atlas of Worlds. Won't be quite the same amount of content as Fall of Oriath, let's just say, but speculation from people like myself would say that there's going to be something to do with the end game content in the game at the moment. So reworking maps potentially, I would say quite likely going to be revolved around getting some of the new tile sets, new bosses, all that sort of stuff, and maybe shaking up the Atlas overall. Could even have a whole new sort of end game boss to farm at the end. Which would be something that we really desperately need at the moment for endgame content in Path of Exile, because we've had the same sort of map and rotation system and all that for quite a while, and that is largely what made Harbinger sort of drag on a bit at this point, though it is a fairly long league as well. Harbinger itself I thought is pretty fun, but it's the same sort of endgame content we've been doing for a while. So that, however, is going to be not the case, as today we were told everything's being pushed back about a week. So instead of ending on the 28th, it is going to be ending on the December 4th, and the new league itself and the expansion will be on December 8th. So plan around those numbers, but once again, who knows, they could extend just a little bit longer as they need time to do stuff. So keep that in mind, but these are the current numbers to plan around. In the meantime, we will also have two 10-day events to run, so almost 2 weeks sort of, I imagine what will be races. Now in the past, historically, these events and little races have been pretty much what I would call clusterfuck leagues. So they were just these 10-day or 2-week races that have just about every single previous league smashed in together, or some really crazy modifiers throughout the league or throughout the little event itself that makes it much more intense and of a sort of league and race than the usual league we have, since it's a longer time and all that, whereas these 10-day events are just have more opportunity to, you know, let loose what you can actually do in Path of Exile with crazy events and all that. So they're worth playing, and it's something I'll be looking forward to and hopefully doing if I'm around, which I should be unless I'm taking some time off, and I don't know about that. So yeah, hopefully that'll be something to tide us over until then. But something else that we do have coming in that next big patch will be a skill rework of Lightning Tendrils. So that was previewed to us about a week ago, and you can look into it yourself, but overall Lightning Tendrils is basically a channeled skill right now, but doesn't function as a channeled skill, so you can't use it with cast on channeling and all that sort of stuff, and it's just sort of an old skill itself, which does sort of need an update, and that's what we're getting over here. And essentially you can see what's going to be happening here in the long term. It will be shooting out extra sort of a different graphic and actual tendrils rather than just what it used to do. So it's shooting out tendrils that hit the ground. It'll still be scaled off of area as far as we can tell, and it will function in a different way, so then it can also cast on channel. So the description's all over there, and it should, by all accounts, look like it be a lot more viable than it used to be. Though, disclaimer, Stormburst did look pretty good on initial preview, and that ended up falling through a fair bit because the numbers just weren't there. So I think it looks really cool and it definitely has potential, but the numbers have to actually back it up to be usable and good in that scenario. So aside from that, I'm hoping for some endgame rework, maybe also some passive tree shit, because Ignite definitely needs some help. You know, our double dipping system was gutted, and then we got a bunch of uniques and passives and all that replace Poison, that made it more viable, and Poison is definitely viable right now. Ignite never really got that, so maybe some Ignite changes and buffs and uniques to go with that, and maybe a few other passive tree shakeups. Maybe we'll get some changes to Valpact, to Berserker, to all kinds of stuff. Hopefully we do have a bit of a shake-up on the passive tree and the meta, as it were, for the skills and builds we currently play. Now, you may say, Mathil, thanks for the information, that's all good and well, but you need a shave. Yes, that's about it though, guys. Thank you very much for watching this little informative video from me. Hope you are not struggling too much in the wait for the next league. Find something fun to do. I will hopefully still be churning out a few extra builds the next coming month. Until then though, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.